Welcome back. You're watching the Citizen Business Center, and as we said earlier, we are hosting the Cabinet Secretary for Tourism, Najib Balala, tonight to tell us more about the state of Kenya's tourism. Thank you so much for joining us on the show tonight, sir.
Diane.
Now, when one thinks of, the current Kenyan economic climate, it's been quite a tumultuous year for Kenya, so to speak, and terrorism did make it a lot worse, for the tourism sector. How does it look like currently?
Well, it's bad. It's hopeful, but the situation is bad. Yeah, from where we were, I can tell you very quickly on charters, we had almost 40 charters in Mombasa a week. Now we have maybe 4 charters a week. And those charters, every charter is numbers. So major numbers have gone down, both in Mombasa and in Nairobi. If we don't invest now, then we don't get a results in the next 12 months, because it's always planned ahead. But the few programs that are put in, there is hope. And I've come with just new zeal and new determination. And I've consulted in the last 2 weeks extensively with the private sector, and definitely there's a lot to be done.
All right.
I thought I left stress from mining. I'm coming to get more stress, but I'm determined. It's exciting for me, and I'm humbled. The president decided to get me back to my old docket. Yeah, but we need to do a lot.
A very critical docket, of course. It has been Kenya's second largest foreign exchange earner for the longest time. That is beginning to erode. However, when you left, and I was reading your notes, your handover notes, when you were tourism minister way back, and you took over when it was minus 80%, on tourism numbers.
Tourism was on its knees because of the post-election violence. And we turned it around. And 2008, despite the global recession, we managed to turn around tourism in Kenya. People were surprised. When I left in 2012, we had almost 1.8 million tourists arriving. And these are tourists, So the numbers were very good. Unfortunately, the dynamics have changed. The reality of now are different from the realities of then. We need to think differently. And I've told the industry, and I've told my staff in the office, if we want to do the same things we used to do them, we get the same results. That's why we're not moving forward. We need to do things differently. We need to refresh every strategy that we have. We need to refresh strategy in marketing and new destinations or new producing countries. We need to have a new strategy for the beach destination, because that is the major market that we are receiving. And then we need an aviation strategy. Those 3 strategies need to be looked into, and very soon I'm going to work with a team that will give me the fresh strategy. We are putting the terms of reference so that we can get new ideas now. I'm telling the private sector, and I'm urging them, if government is going to play a different game, they must play a different game as well. I think we need the private sector to rethink seriously on how to bring the cost of Kenya down, because Kenya is becoming too expensive. The rates in hotels are too high. The rates of packages is too high. The rates of air safaris are too high.
But what is informing those costs?
Well, people are used to exclusiveness, monopolies. They have a mechanism that they're used to, that system or that formula of doing those costs. We need to be dynamic. You cannot have a lodge that has 10 tourists and you're charging $300 a night. I rather earn $200 a night, but it is 50 tourists.
So is it something to do with strategy? I mean, are they looking for high net worth individuals and forgetting, what they say that, the money is at the middle or the bottom?
Let's not be cheated. Be exclusive, you're going to earn high end. Be mass market, you need the numbers to get it, to get the profits. So we have 2 products which are very good, safari and beach destination, and we can do it. And I want to announce today to the country that the government is going to give incentives for charter airlines. Every tourist that is brought into Mombasa airport is going to be a rebate for the charter operator and the tour operator of $30 per person, and it's going to be effective from 1st of January 2016. From 1st of January 2016, we are going to do a waiver of landing fees of all charters landing into Mombasa Airport. I'm talking about charters, not scheduled airlines.
Only in Mombasa?
Only in Mombasa and Malindi. We want to boost the beach destination because, as you know, the beach destination now is almost dead. We have lost 30,000 jobs and the ripple effects of that, crime and all these problems we are having. Hotels who have invested are suffering. They cannot pay their loans. Revenue that is foreign currency coming, today our dollar is 102, and before it was 76 or 77. Yeah? So all this will have a ripple effect. So the government is announcing today a $30 per person that lands into Mombasa with a minimum aircraft load of 80%. So if you get beyond 80%, then you are entitled to a rebate of $30 per person. And then all airlines or all charter airlines that land into Mombasa and Malindi, we will have a waiver of
How will that
fees.
waiver look on the landing fees?
Landing fees, yes. That is.
Do you have numbers yet on how?
We are talking about almost 100 million for 1 year. That is when charters are there. At the moment, it's hardly 20 million. Yeah. So why are we keeping landing fees and we're getting 20 million? But we can encourage and waive that 20 million so that we can be able to create ripple effect or more money into the economy by just waiving 20 million shillings. Yeah. It's small for government, but the ripple effect to the nation is bigger. Same things with charters. We are giving a rebate of $30. The benefit that we are going to bring into the country is $50 million. So we are working on figures that are realistic of 300,000 people arriving during that period. And this will be 1st of January 2016 to end of June 2018. So 2.5 years that people will have planned, people would have taken those charters and commitments, and they know when they're going to expire those rebates and those incentives.
All right, you did talk about changes in aviation and looking at aviation differently in terms of how it contributes to the tourism sector. Yeah. Where does our national carrier fall in your plan?
Well, I'm going to have a meeting in January with Kenya Airways. I think Kenya Airways we are very proud of them. They're the pride of Africa, they're our national carrier. We need to realign the marketing strategy of the country and Kenya Airways. We cannot separate this. If we need to support and be loyal and patriotic to Kenya Airways, then Kenya Airways need to be loyal to the country. And then we can work not only in routes, because if our clientele is in Italy or in Germany, Kenya Airways need to realign to that, because then there will be marketing budgets from the government to market that destination. So why do we encourage then charters, which then brings maybe mass market, while scheduled airlines, we can work with them and be able to support it. So these are the things, there are technicalities and dynamics into that, but we will engage seriously from January with Kenya Airways. I've talked to Dennis Award, the new chairman, and we have agreed that we'll be meeting very soon in the new year so that we can realign the marketing strategy. Right. Kenya Airways needs to understand the marketing strategy of the country is going to boost their numbers. All
right. Let's bring that discussion home. What is the place of the domestic tourist in this, the tourism sector and the performance of the tourism sector?
That's why I urge the tourism sector in Kenya. They must lower their rates. Yeah, they must. If the government is contributing incentives, yeah, to bring more tourists, but they're the ones raising the rates, and becomes expensive that the tourists cannot come here. And for me, I don't want to discriminate which color you are coming from. As far as you are paying, you must get the service equally to what you are paying. And yes, there'll be a strategy for domestic market and regional market as well. I'm going to travel extensively in Africa. and I've identified the countries which we are going to work very closely with in Africa, spending power, and to bring and have also frequencies of flight frequencies into Nairobi or into Kenya, so that not only having the spending power, but easier to reach into the country. So these are the things I'm going to work. But also I'm going to review our entire marketing strategy from the producing countries. If a country is really not producing, and there's a travel advisory against Kenya, we will not invest money, because it will be in futility. Yeah, I'm going to review all that. I'm glad our key markets are very loyal. Britain is very loyal. Italy is very loyal, and Germany as well. And I'm going to fast track. The first week I came in, or the few days I came in as a new Minister of Tourism, I took the French ambassador to Lamu, and we went to defy their own travel advisory. And we had a serious security meeting to debrief on what the government positively is putting. And very impressive. And I believe in the next few weeks, the French government will lift travel advisory, or will consider at least part of the coast region to lift the travel advisory, because they're the only ones remaining, and also Australia. So we are going to work with all ambassadors and take them on a tour to see the product, but also sit down with the ambassadors to have security briefs, so that they can send the information back home that Kenya is safe, and government is putting measures so that they are factual.
All right. Now, in September, Kenya was elected to the UN tourism body. What does this mean for Kenya, and are we making the most out of opportunities like that?
Well, first of all, we have a beautiful product, the safari product. Yeah, we need to actually secure it. The issues of the lions being killed is unacceptable, and I can tell you government is taking action on those people who have killed the lions. Yeah, the rule of law must be applied. We already have a very clear law of compensation, so you cannot go and kill lions. These are national heritage and assets of the country. We must protect them. Then we need a proper management plan for Masai Mara. Either we have it right, and I want to congratulate Governor Tunai that he's developing one, and I'm going to work very closely with him so that Masai Mara is protected. And otherwise, we are going to create a slum in Masai Mara. Yeah, we need to control the cows. We need to control the small villages that are coming all over, especially with devolution. So definitely, we are going to work together. But we need to invest a lot in the beach destination. And not because Balala comes from the beach destination, no. There is where the numbers are. And let me tell the country here. Turkey, 34 million tourists arrive in Turkey. Yeah, that's why tourism is big. Egypt, it used to be 13 million tourists. If we talk about 600,000 tourists, then we are not serious players. We need to reach the 3 million tourists as the Jubilee Manifesto dream. And I'm going to achieve it in the next 3-4 years.
All right. So 3-4 years, 30 million?
No, 3 million.
3 million. All right. So minus 40%. How many tourists do you see us getting by the end of next year?
Well, you know, tourists is a year planned. This incentive, I hope it's going to stimulate. First, reward the people who are loyal, who are coming now. Charters are coming from January or December. Reward them by giving them that compensation. But that money is going to market that seat. Yeah. So it's not just going to pocket; it's going to market, and we're going to complement with marketing activities on the. I'm going to double the amount of money for marketing in our producing countries. Yeah, because token advertising or token marketing will not. We need to be effective. Okay,
so yes, we really need to wind up. I hear we have a tweet, and we'd like to read it for you. There we go. Timutai, you say Mombasa is a major tourist hub, but it's very dirty. CS Balala, please do something about it.
Well, I'm going to work very closely with governors and the CEC or ECEC, the ministers of tourism in these counties. We're going to collaborate very positively, and I'm going to ask them, can you do a product development and I'll market the country for you, or the county for you? So product development must be done by the counties, and the country or the national government will do the marketing for those products.
All right. On marketing, as we wind up, are we back on CNN? I know we were supposed to start.
We are back on CNN.
November.
We are back on CNN. We are going to review the video that is on. Yeah, we want to do a fresh one, and also we will go to other global campaign advertisement.
All right, thank you so much for making time to be with us on the Citizen Business Center tonight. Newly appointed Tourism Cabinet Secretary Najib Balala. We are taking a short break. We'll be back with more right after this break, and of course we'll be sampling some of your views when we return.